Tigers, Bulldogs, Saints. Welcome to DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Good morning and welcome to DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance. Boy, anybody get woke up about 4 o'clock this morning, rumbling and and all that good stuff? It was, what's wrong, Casey? Casey's, you can use them both if you'd like.
I can't hear anything.
Can you hear now?
I still can't hear anything.
Oh, goodness gracious, Casey. What about now?
Well, no.
No.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
I'll listen to myself.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out during the break. Maybe we figured it out during the break. But it is stormy. Hey, if you're going to be out today, do be careful because I think we're through the first round of storms, maybe some more later today. But that wind, my goodness, I was driving up the hill and I couldn't even, I'm glad it's a 4-lane because I couldn't stay in one lane with that wind blowing out there. But hey, you know what? Springtime is here and we have had a great week in sports here in DeKalb County. A lot of games this week. Thankfully, the weather cooperated, and everything Monday through Friday got played. Today, of course, looks like a washout, but this upcoming week looks pretty good as well. And just good to get out and see some games. Coach, you and I got to do the DeKalb Cannon game the other night. Kind of a heartbreaker for the Tigers, but it was good to be out and to watch some baseball.
It was great to get out and broadcast again. And like you say, very strange game. You normally don't see a tale of two halves in a 7-inning game, but that's exactly what we saw, and maybe next time DeKalb will be able to close that door.
It's DeKalb, a tough start for the baseball team so far. Lost at Warren County last night. Still looking for their first win. They'll get that opportunity Monday as they'll travel to Sparta to open the district season against White County. They'll play on back-to-back days in Sparta on Monday and then Tuesday back in Smithfield. Casey, West School baseball team off to a great start. They're undefeated to start the season. And what's your takeaway from that team so far? They've looked sharp in their first 3 games.
I don't know. I think Kelly would agree. I don't know that they necessarily look sharp the first 3 games.
Okay, well, they've won. Let's just put it that way.
They've won. But they haven't had any scrimmages or hadn't had any really well, they scrimmaged themselves, but they hadn't had any like warm-up games or anything like that. They just jumped straight into the season. So I guess you look at this first week as just a, getting your stuff figured out type week.
Kelly, going back to the game on Monday, Maddox Piper, of course, your son started 3 in the third, gave up no earned runs, 1 run, 3 hits, and a good start for him. It looked like in that game, that win over Smith County to open the season.
Yeah, of course, when we play Little League, we play in Smith County, and so I think he knew about every kid he faced, and at some point he had pitched against them, so he was pretty psyched about playing against them, and he is not a hard thrower. He is more of he has a little bit more movement. He has a 3/4 release too, so he's going to get hit. His job is to give them good innings of throwing some strikes and making them put the ball in play in his defense. And the first inning we got in a little trouble, but Gavin came in and doubled off, got him right out of trouble. And so I think he did have a couple of strikeouts. But which is, he's going to get a couple, but usually towards the bottom of the lineup. But he had a good outing. He was excited. His curveball worked on his last at bat. Coach pulled him, I think, about 40 pitches because he wanted to try to save him in case he needed him for Thursday. Mm-hmm. I think Coach Norris, need to give him a little credit. He is not that I didn't have any faith in him. I'm just he's doing a good job of coming up with a strategy for the week and trying to put the boys in a good position to have pitching and he's concerned about their arms. He watches the pitches. He watches where he puts people. So like Casey said, they haven't had a whole lot of scrimmage time. They looked rusty batting, but they did not look rusty in the field, I didn't feel. I feel like they did very well defensively. The pitching looked good. I think they will get better as they get in game shape. But I'm excited.
Well, that's one thing I keep saying, and Chris, you and I talked about a lot even in our game the other night. It's early, and what you see now, and I know spring, honestly, the spring season feels relatively short because it just goes by so fast, but it's early, and a lot of what we're seeing now, what we see in May is going to be completely different, for better or worse. We certainly hope for better, but to me, a lot of our teams, and I'll use baseball for an example, being a young team, they're going to grow and get better as the season goes along. So if you go out and watch a team, or if you did this past week, what you see the first week of May, Casey, that may not be the same thing that you see here in middle of March. These teams are going to be completely different 6 weeks from now.
I think the same thing applies to the high school team, to be honest with you. You're exactly right. Both of the teams really, even the middle school is still just coming off basketball, but especially in the high school, there's a core bunch there that's just come off of high school or basketball. And so it just takes time to gel. The middle school, obviously Kelly and I are very familiar with them. That core bunch that's there is special. Once they get into a rhythm, we see everything through rose-colored glasses, I guess, sometimes. But this team, at its best, is a state championship baseball team.
Yeah.
This team, at its worst, loses the first round of the district tournament. So, you just hope that this team keeps progressing as it has this week. Keegan Taylor, to me, has shown a lot this week. He has had a really good week. I thought that Mathis had a excellent outing on Tuesday. To come in very first thing like that, first team the team faced during the year, and maybe not necessarily be the one or two on that team as far as the pitching goes, and then come in there and have the performance he did, that was very encouraging to me. And then for him to show back up as catching, and that kid's a good catcher. I don't know what Kelly's done, but she's done something.
That is daddy.
He's a good athlete. And he's a good kid, and that is indicative of that whole team. They're all good athletes, and they're all good kids. Reed did fine pitching the other night.
He did. He did real good.
Yeah. Well, okay. We won't talk
Who is this imposter sitting at the end of the table?
But I felt like during the week, if you were to, and I only got to watch Kelly videos, the games for us. I only got to watch through video on Thursday night, but I feel like the best pitching performance this week was Colin Donnell.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
He threw 85 pitches. He come in and faced a team that was mad because they'd lost to us Tuesday night and didn't have a lot of batting help that night at all until late, and kept DeKalb with a lead the entire time. And then come out and closed it out with a victory. Brantley Brooks come in and finished off the last couple outs, but he basically went the entire game, and I thought he did really well. I tell you, I was really, really proud of him.
We talked about early season, and some teams are still getting their legs up under them, but a couple of programs that are off to great starts are soccer programs, and the Tiger soccer team. 2 wins this past week. Shut out Smith County, which always has a very good soccer program over there. 2-0 the score, and then went on the road to Baxter and beat Upperman 6-0 on Thursday. So Coach K, his squad, they're off to a great start to the season. They're scheduled to be in the Macon County JV Play Day today. I'd imagine, I haven't heard this officially, but I'd say that's probably been, if not rained out, then winded or stormed out. And they'll be back in action Tuesday, headed up to Lafayette to play Macon County. Casey's favorite place to go, by the way, is Lafayette up at Macon County.
Russia.
Saints soccer team, they're also off to a fantastic start. In fact, our 2 soccer programs, they've not allowed a goal yet, y'all, in 4 matches, as they went to Smith County this week. won 5-0 in their first. I should say 5-0. I know that's the correct soccer term. I'm still getting everything ironed out soccer terminology wise. And then hosted Cumberland County last night. Got a 3-0 victory there. Both of those in conference games. So. Again, the soccer program's 4 matches, 4 shutouts. They'll play Watertown coming up on Tuesday and at White County this upcoming Friday. Spring break is coming up at the end of this week. Yes, everybody's excited about it. And by the way, we will not have a Blitz show next week due to spring break because everybody's abandoning me and going out of town, and I can't do this all by myself. But no, in all seriousness, everything's kind of scattered. So next Saturday, and we'll post that for everybody that misses it, but no Blitz show next Saturday. But what I wanted to interject here, how's that going to affect the programs in a timing aspect? It's still early in the season. Kelly, I'll start this with you, but what do you see in terms of spring break, coaches working around this? We talk about this a lot in fall break with football, but how will it affect, do you feel like, and maybe even especially these younger kids in the middle school programs, will it affect them a little bit more being out of school, kind of being off of a regular schedule?
No, probably not these boys. It'll probably actually be good for them. They'll get some rest. I think we have we play Friday, then we turn around and play Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And 2 of those are away, so it's a good time for we're having to travel. So, if you're having to travel, it's good to travel on fall or on spring break because I think we have to go to we go to Cumberland County. I know on Friday night, so that's a late night when you get back because just like Thursday, it was supposed to be a 5:00 start time. It didn't start till almost 6. We didn't get home until after 9:00. And that's just, we really didn't hang out in Cookville. We went and got something to eat and went home. But it was after 9 before we got home. And so I think the rest will do these kids. They're tired too. They've been practicing. They practice usually 2 hours a day, plus going to school all day. So, and I'm not knocking the high school or anything. The high school has a little bit more liberty in their scheduling in the school day.
Right. Kids
have a little bit more break. You can't do that with junior high kids. You have to keep them busy at all times. And so these kids will probably enjoy a good break. And like I said, they're probably going to, I would say coach will probably give them a day or so off. But it'll probably be, just a normal week. They just don't have to go to school.
Tom, I think that the middle school, high school, spring sports, they have a luxury that they can schedule around and kind of set it up and maybe play just one game this upcoming week or 2 weeks. What's going on? Kelly's like, no. But,
nope, that's not happening.
In football, you start week 0, week 1, and you're done. And it doesn't matter when your break is. You know that you have that game coming up. I know that Cannon County with softball, they're probably off for the next 2 weeks. They've got spring break coming up, and then they've got a lot of their kids that are in an FFA after that. So their coach has a little bit of leeway in what they can do about their games. And that my first thought, and I think a coach can load up during that springtime if they want to, but I think you still have to anticipate kids being gone.
Oh, I know, like in Friendship Christian, they always take off to Alabama, and they go play softball the whole week. Of course, I don't know that I want to go to Alabama today, but
yeah, with the weather, I don't think I would either.
But a lot of the teams, I know Smith County. I know Smith County baseball is headed to, or not Smith County, Gordonsville baseball. Just because my brother-in-law coaches there, they go down to Gulf Shores and they play pretty much their whole spring break. So a lot of schools kind of do that. Our schedule, we actually canceled one of our games. We did have 4 games the week of spring break, just because our district schedule is handed to us. They do not allow for anybody's spring break. Everybody had to play through their spring break in our conference. So unless it rains you out, you're playing through your spring break. So nobody got that luxury in our conference because Putnam County, DeKalb County, White County, Overton County, none of us in Cumberland County, nobody's spring break matched up because everybody had it at a different time. So everybody is playing through their spring break. So
I think high school's playing too, right? Y'all are playing. So
Yeah, they're in fact they're in a tournament next weekend, and then come back get I think even district games the following week. So a lot will still be going on, and you just got to work around the schedule for your coach. It might be a little bit frustrating, but that's just part of it. It's a busy time of year. All right, on today's schedule, we were scheduled to have Coach Brian Cadle of the DCHS tennis team. He had something come up and had to cancel sort of last minute, but we've got 3 members of the Tiger tennis team that are set to join us here in just a few minutes. We're going to talk softball coming up bottom of the hour. Coach Ethan Duke of the Tigerette softball program will be with us. We'll come back and take a look at the week ahead in sports. That's all coming up this morning on DC Blitz. We're presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Unrivaled service and practical advice from Jeff and Grant James at DeKalb County Insurance. With auto, homeowners, life and annuities, property and liability, Medicare supplement, and business policies available. Receive seriously good insurance with great coverage and prices. DeKalb County Insurance is an independent agency that shops multiple carriers, such as Erie, Allstate, Travelers, State Auto, Progressive, and many more. Call today for a quote. DeKalb County Insurance, 615-597-0660.
Hey, Sam!
Who said that? Cheryl? What are you doing up there?
My bank always leaves me up in the air. I'm still waiting for an answer. Oh, darn birds.
Well, switch to First Bank. They have fast local decision makers and the latest banking products and digital.
Whew, what a relief. I'll call First Bank. When I was up there, I saw a branch near me.
First Bank never leaves you hanging. Bank local. Get more. Member FDIC.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org.
Bad Boy Mowers' legendary reputation for strength, performance, and value is now available with Bad Boy tractors. From mid-size to subcompact models powered by 22 to 35 horsepower water-cooled diesel engines, your tractor work just got real easy. On the farm, the ranch, or even around the house, Bad Boy tractors deliver power and durability all day, every day. Bad Boy tractors work with an attitude. Find your big boy tractor at Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville. Visit them online at thesouthernlandscapesupply.com.
Brain Your Brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
In a world of bank mergers and acquisitions driven by the bottom line, Wilson Bank and Trust remains focused on serving the community. We're local. We're independent. The people who make decisions and help you at the window are your neighbors and friends. As your local, independent bank, Wilson Bank and Trust takes a personal approach to business by providing customized banking needs while staying committed to serving our communities across Middle Tennessee. Let our team of local banking professionals show you the hometown difference. Wilson Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Are you ready to elevate your commercial space? Look no further than Taylor's Construction. With years of expertise in the industry, Taylor's Construction specializes in all aspects of commercial construction. Whether you're planning a new office or any large-scale project, we've got you covered. Our team excels in drywall installation and metal stud framing, and we ensure precision and quality that meets your highest standards. Ready to start your next project? Don't wait. Call us today and experience the Taylor's Construction difference. Call 615-684-5068.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb Sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
DC Blitz presented by DeKalb County Insurance. We're set to talk some tennis as we've got 3 members of the Tiger tennis team. Luke Midgett, Ian Barnes, Jackson Mathis. Gentlemen, thank you last minute jumping in here to join us on the program today. Good morning, and how's the tennis season going so far? We'll just start down here. How's things going so far?
It's going very good, very good. We're 5-1 for the season right now. Our only loss to Shelbyville Central, but we don't talk about that one.
Yeah, don't talk about the loss. Talk about the good things, right?
Yeah, we beat a lot of good teams. We beat Riverdale, Oakland, a lot of big schools like that.
Yeah, Jackson, what's the expectations for this team this year? What do you feel like you can accomplish by season's end?
Like me personally, or as a team?
You personally and as a team.
Me and Luke we're trying to make district doubles.
Yeah.
But as a team, last year we were 4th in district in the tournament, so we're trying to get to the final.
All right, Luke, this is going to be the most important question of the day. How much has Casey helped you develop your game?
Oh, there we go. Let's be honest about that too, by the way.
On a scale of 0 to 10.
He hasn't actively made me worse, I guess.
Okay, good. That's what we were hoping to hear, that he hasn't made your game worse. But in all seriousness, Luke, what do you feel like the strongest point of your game is?
I like playing doubles with Jackson a lot, mainly because when we work together, your weaknesses don't show as much. So, I mean, he's faster. He can run the baseline more, and I'm better at the net, I think, so I can smack it on people.
Right. I always like that about playing doubles because I like to play the net. You know, of course, I got hit upside the head quite a bit, but, it was still fun in all seriousness. But, Ian, coming back to you, what do you feel like the strongest part of your game is?
Strongest part of my game, I'd say, is my forehand. I'd say that's the part I've most worked on when I've been practicing and stuff.
Now, these two guys play doubles with each other. Do you also play doubles?
I do. I play with Lance Duke. He's a freshman. He's very good.
Okay. As far as overall, is the team better singles, doubles? Is there a good combination? Both? Jackson, what do you feel like?
I think we're more of a singles team. Lance Duke, he's our 1 seed.
Yeah.
And he's crazy.
Yeah.
He's a really good player. And then I think that we are also really deep in singles. Ends at the 2nd, I'm the 3rd, Luke's the 4th. And so we are really balanced, and I think we're going to give any team like a really good shot.
Y'all have really talked about Lance. What is it about his game that really stands out?
He just works hard like crazy. He's out at the courts almost every day. He's hit with a professional. His name is Joff for like the past 2 years. So he's really improved, and he's come a long way.
Luke, what's the most difficult aspect of the game of tennis, you think? The hardest thing to really get good at, so to speak?
I think it really is just a matter of how much you play. I think what hurts you the most is when you don't really think about tennis for like a month or 2 months in the off season, whatever.
Yeah.
You come back and you forget how to hit a tennis ball. So I think the hardest thing is just consistency would be the number one.
Do you guys work on this game year-round pretty much?
I would say so. I think like even when we're not playing, in the summer we have a league we do. I'd say it definitely falls off in the winter because it's cold and we don't want to go outside and play tennis for 2 hours. But I would say year-round usually.
Ian, looking at the district, who are the teams that you all compete with, and where does DeKalb County fit in that this year?
Like last year, we were 2nd in the district. We came – well, no, we weren't.
Third.
We were third. We lost to White County in the tournament. But then we're a lot better this year than we were last year.
Yeah.
This is the best tennis team we've been a part of.
Who are some of the teams that y'all go up against in district?
We play Cookeville, White County. There's Livingston, Cumberland County.
Warren.
Warren County. Wait, no, Warren's not in our district.
Oh.
A lot of bigger schools. I mean, you look at Cookeville. I mean, that's a 2,500 student school there. So y'all are playing a lot of bigger schools in district, right?
It's the only way they can contain us. They can't put us in a small district.
I like the confidence. I like it. All right, I'm sorry to do this to y'all, but Casey, I know he's ready to go down there.
Oh, let's see. Question number 1 to all of you. Why is it you are the way you are?
What do you even mean by that?
Yeah.
What do you even trying to say?
Okay. Tell us about the big tournament yesterday. I think we came away with some hardware, right?
We did come away with some hardware. Me and Jackson. Well, no, you lost one.
Well, we won our doubles.
Me and Jackson, let's say we played 3 games yesterday. We'll start with this. Played 3 games yesterday. Riverdale, Oakland, Macon. Riverdale, we won. So how tennis works is you have teams, right? 5 doubles, 2 singles. And however many you win, it goes to a final score, so it'll be out of 7, right? So Riverdale, 7-0. Oakland, 7-0. Macon, a little scary at the end, but we ended up getting the win anyways. Me and Jackson undefeated doubles on the day. I went undefeated at singles on the day. Ian, so close. Jackson, so close in singles. I had to step up and win a singles there at the end for us. But we did end up getting first place in the tournament yesterday. Walked away with a little bit of hardware, trophy.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
Lucas, if you haven't figured out, is definitely the humble one of this group. So there's, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but there's a very nice article in the review this week about Coach Cadle has talked about the tennis team somewhat in there, and he's mentioned you 3 specifically in there about your contributions to the tennis team over the years. Ian, I think you were the very first one of this bunch to get into tennis. You were there a little bit before them. And then you got these guys to come, and it seems like it kind of exploded after that. Y'all talk about that. What was the draw to tennis, I guess?
Well, I've been playing tennis for a little bit, like off and on. My family would just sometimes go and play tennis as a family, and that kind of got me into it. I was like, that's pretty fun. And then one day, I think Luke maybe had Cadle's class and suggested playing tennis for the team. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And then we got on the team, like met a bunch of people, and it was just like, it was a great time.
Yeah. Is it easier because they all are friends to be able to play, or would you just sometimes rather you not be friends so you could just go after each other and as hard as you could?
Yeah, it's definitely better to be friends with that because it gives you more motivation. Because if you lose, then you're going to hear it all day from your friends.
Yeah. Ian tries harder against us than he does in the actual games.
Yeah. Has anyone ever smashed a racket?
What are you looking at me?
They automatically locked in on Lou.
Well, I got 2 rackets. That's what I asked for from Santa for Christmas last year. One's gone. One's no longer with us, and one's about to not be with us anymore.
Let me just speak on behalf of Santa. That irritates the crap out of Santa, by the way.
Rackets aren't cheap.
Yeah.
What brand do y'all use racket-wise? What do you prefer?
Salenko.
Okay.
I have a head.
Okay.
I am also the Salenko.
Okay. Salenko's, I'm not familiar with it. I haven't played tennis in a long time either. But what makes that brand of racket stick out in your mind?
Well, to be honest, I saw it on a TikTok with the best tennis rackets.
Okay. So if TikTok says it's good, right?
Yeah, it does.
Jackson, what you say you use head, and that's one I used to always prefer. What do you like about it?
Well, I just like it's more like spin oriented.
Right.
And so I usually hit with like a lot of spin, so that really helps me with that.
Serve speed. Who's got the best?
I would say myself.
Okay.
I'll nominate me.
What whereabouts? What speed?
I have no clue.
No clue?
No.
We need to get a radar gun out
there.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
The cool thing about this bunch is Ian is the real professional of the three. Luke and
So
Jackson, I'm not even dead sure knew what a tennis racket was before Ian told him, hey, you should join the tennis team. And somehow he's got them to be able to learn and play tennis on a level that doesn't embarrass people when they come out there. So I give Ian all the credit in all this.
Guys, I know you probably focus more on the guys' team, but what about the girls' team? What info can you give us on them, Luke, as far as some members of their team, and how good are they this year?
You know, I think they've really turned it around. I mean, was it 2 years ago or last year did they win a game?
Last year they didn't win a match.
Last year they did not win a match. This year I think they're already got 3 wins under the belt. So they got second for the girls in that tournament that we won yesterday. So they've really turned it around. Charlotte's their only senior, and she's their 1 seed too. And they've just got a really deep roster, I think. They got a lot of new players, so I think they'll continue building.
I was looking, Coach Cadle had actually sent me some info, most of what you've covered already. But, Charlotte Palladino, Candace Rico led the Lady Tigers with a 5-1 record in singles and doubles yesterday at the Tiger Invitational. So it's good to see that they've turned that around after some struggles. Casey, you got anything else?
Oh, yeah. This is a question for individually for y'all. I'll start with Ian. Ian, what would you say your record in tennis against your daddy is?
Against my dad?
Yeah.
No, it was bad early on because he was actually really good at tennis. He played high school.
Yes, he was really good.
He was. I'd say I'm definitely winning in that. I'd say I'm winning by about 2 or 3 games. Yeah, I don't think he'll catch me now. I think I'm at that point where I'm past.
You're going to dominate now?
Yeah. He can't keep up now.
Yeah. Jackson, I'm going to skip over you for just a second. I have a special question for you, all right? Luke, what would you say your record against your daddy is?
Dude, you haven't played me in like a year and a half. You cannot even right now.
At the last time that we played, what would you say the record is?
I was up 7-1, and you're over here, oh, man. So, don't even. You can't even say anything.
Who won the game, though?
Yeah, don't even.
Come on. Who won that game?
You won.
Yes. From a deficit of 7-1. Thank you for bringing that up, too, by the way. Jackson, my question to you is, what is your record against me?
I think 0-0.
0-0.
Yeah.
We will solve that this week.
Yeah. Y'all go out and play today. Today be a fun day to find out.
Yeah. Well, and the other question I have for all three of you. So y'all all three have siblings that either play now or used to play sports, okay? Who's the better athlete, you or them?
I mean, the question is, am I better at tennis than my brother is at
overall,
basketball?
lasting legacy in DeKalb County.
Well, if it's lasting legacy, then it's me. Because, I mean, tennis has had a winning record, and basketball hasn't had a winning record since I don't even know.
Since you quit basketball, right?
Yeah.
Ian, take notice. Elliot, take notice of this. So.
Oh, man.
All right, Jackson, who's better?
Me or Abby?
Yep.
Oh, me by far. Yeah. Abby never won a tournament for tennis. So.
All right. Yeah. I hope Abby's listening to this.
Yeah, me too.
Well, you got 2 people listening.
I don't think John's played high school sports yet, so I can't tell who's better.
I said DeKalb County Sports.
DeKalb County Sports, John's still in Little League, so it's going to be hard to tell. I mean, that's all I can say.
Don't you have another baby?
So the answer for Luke is he's not man enough to admit Reed.
Okay. Reed is better at sports than I was, but I will stick to this. He will never beat me in anything because I always have the big brother curse over him. Every time we play, I'm winning.
Did you ever play tennis with you?
Oh, he doesn't. He knows better to play tennis.
Knows better. Guys, do y'all watch professional tennis? Are there any professional tennis players that you like to watch?
They watch professional wrestling.
That's how the rackets get smashed.
Yeah.
I know there was a time that there were a lot of Americans that really stood out in the game of tennis. Today, it doesn't seem like that's quite as much. That's why I asked that question, because I wonder if there's times that you watch and any players that you enjoy watching at all.
Yeah, I like Taylor Fritz. He's American. And
Okay.
then Nick Kyrgios. I don't know what country he's from, but he's not from America. They're both really good tennis players, and I really like watching them.
Okay. All right. Either one of you other two guys watch any professional tennis?
I've watched Blake Shelton. I'm pretty sure he's
The
American.
singer? The singer?
That was a singer.
Wait, no, not Blake Shelton. What's his name?
I know who you're
I
talking
bet
about.
you have watched Blake.
the
I've
young
watched
one.
Dusty Wolf.
The one that serves really hard.
Yeah, what's his name?
I don't know.
Something.
Ben Shelton.
Ben Shelton.
Ben Shelton.
Hey, Blake Shelton might could play tennis for all we know. I mean, he's tall. You know, he can. Ian, what about you?
I'm not much. I guess like Ben Shelton's my favorite. Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes in the summer, I'll see like the Wimbledon. I'll turn it on, watch a few games.
Have you ever played on, you bring up Wimbledon, in professionals, they have the clay courts, the grass courts, the hard courts, different kinds of styles of courts. You guys, I assume, play all the time on hard courts. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever played on any other surface?
Did we in Florida with those clay?
No, those are hard.
Oh.
I've never played on a different court other than hard.
Yeah. I've always heard clay, it kind of slows the game down. Grass sort of speeds the game up, and obviously hard court, about the same. But I was just curious about that because of the different surfaces.
I would never want to play on grass courts. I feel like I'd fall every 2 seconds on grass courts.
Well, guys, it's exciting to hear that the tennis team's off to a great start. We feel like you're going to have a great season this year. If we happen to live stream a match, would you want Casey to be the analyst for the matches?
You know, if you're live streaming tennis, you can't yell all the time, right?
That's why I asked. Luke, that's why I asked. Would you want Casey to be the?
Luke is still mad because me and his mama brought air horns the first match that he had. I don't know. Get over it, man. It'll be okay.
Well, guys, really, we thank you so much for coming out here kind of last minute again and sharing some tennis info with us. And hey, come back later in the season, and especially when we get toward postseason time, we'd like to get caught up and talk about expectations for the postseason. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
All right, thank you.
All right, we've got Luke Midgett, Ian Barnes, and Jackson Mathis. When we come back, we're going to switch gears and talk some Tigerette softball. This is DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Teamwork, accountability, honesty, showing respect, dependability. These are all qualities that I began learning as an athlete growing up in DeKalb County. Hi, this is Tennessee Assistant Golf Coach Payne Denman. Whenever you're looking for a teammate that has your back, look no farther than my friend Grant James and the team at DeKalb County Insurance. Give them a call today at 615-597-0660 or visit them at www.decabinsurance.net.
There's nothing like homegrown. Around here, nothing grows better than local businesses and families. It's because starting on common ground makes things just shoot up. Just look at those neighborhoods and business districts. Around here, it's always growing season.
At First Bank, we share your hometown and your love for our community. That means you get down-to-earth local lenders who get down to business faster. First Bank. Bank local, get more. Member FDIC.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org.
Bad Boy tractors are born from the legendary Bad Boy mowers from 20 to 35 horsepower. Subcompact to midsize, Bad Boy combines power, performance, comfort, and, as always, builds strength to deliver the workhorse dependability you need to get the job done and done right. Homeowner, landscaper, or rancher, there's a Bad Boy tractor for you to work with an attitude. Find your Big Boy tractor at Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville. Visit them online at thesouthernlandscapesupply.com.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
In a world of bank mergers and acquisitions driven by the bottom line, Wilson Bank and Trust remains focused on serving the community. We're local. We're independent. The people who make decisions and help you at the window are your neighbors and friends. As your local, independent bank, Wilson Bank and Trust takes a personal approach to business by providing customized banking needs while staying committed to serving our communities across Middle Tennessee. Let our team of local banking professionals show you the hometown difference. Wilson Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Are you ready to elevate your commercial space? Look no further than Taylor's Construction. With years of expertise in the industry, Taylor's Construction specializes in all aspects of commercial construction. Whether you're planning a new office or any large-scale project, we've got you covered. Our team excels in drywall installation and metal stud framing, and we ensure precision and quality that meets your highest standards. Ready to start your next project? Don't wait. Call us today and experience the Taylor's Construction difference. Call 615-684-5068.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb Sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
DC Blitz presented by DeKalb County Insurance. Tom, Kelly, Coach Casey, and good to have with us first year DCHS Tigerette softball coach Ethan Duke. Coach, good morning. And what's the experience been like transitioning from an assistant coach to the head guy in charge for the Tigerettes this year?
Well, it's having to follow a tree that's been represented by Danny Bond and Danny Fish and Danielle Horton. You know, I was watching DC Blitz on one of the earlier episodes, and they were like, I think y'all were talking to Bruce about that hiring, and he said, you know, well, we'll just have to use his last name. I can't have a lineage like that and then go to an Ethan, and it's like, well, okay, like that's fine. But it's been enjoyable. There's been obviously a whole lot more responsibility taken with it, but I feel like the girls have especially adapted to the change.
Mm-hmm.
It's been helpful to have Coach Horton still on staff due to just continuity and obviously softball knowledge. But it's been what I expected and a whole lot more, you know, working with a group of teenage girls. You know, but it's enjoyable, and I'm blessed to have it. So.
What would you feel like you talk about the increasing in responsibilities? Obviously, what would you feel like maybe is one of the more difficult tasks that you have as head coach that you didn't as an assistant?
Well, a lot of it has to do with ensuring that games are going to happen when they do, making sure the schedule's set, getting us into tournaments, getting us top flight competition like we did Wednesday night to ensure that our girls understand that our goal is to get to Murfreesboro at the end, and the teams we play right now, that's who we're going to have to see if we want to get there and make it all the way to the last day in May. So that was probably the biggest thing, is just the added little intricacies of the schedules and, you know, pulling POs for stuff for the field maintenance, all that stuff. But, you know, it was expected, and I feel like I did all right. So.
You know, you mentioned the schedule and being a challenging schedule. You go to Gordonsville and play in that tournament, some really good teams there. You go to Oakland this past week and play a very good Oakland team. You're going, I know, to Green Hill coming up. You got a tournament down in Chattanooga. Sometimes people say, well, why are we playing such, you know, bigger schools and bigger teams? But just like you touched on, being good in May is what's important. How many games you win the regular season really doesn't matter. Is that kind of what you were thinking when you're scheduling this, putting this schedule together?
Yes, sir, absolutely. When district season rolls around, everything that happened before us that's kind of just irrelevant, because how we perform in the district will ultimately lead to what we do in the region, sub-state, and state. For Green Hill, Green Hill's a team that since I've been on the staff, we have played them every season, and we have always lost by 1 run.
Wow.
Always by 1 run. And most of the time, Cora Kilgore, she is pitched, and it hasn't, I think the runs have been unearned. So not only is there a fire in all of our bellies for it, but it's kind of something for her that she's like, this year we're going to win.
Right.
She said we're not gonna stop at 1 run. We're gonna let them have it. So,
what do you feel like the confidence level of this team is?
I think individually, some of them lack a little bit of confidence, but I think as the season progresses and they get back in the role of what we do regularly, that confidence is going to increase. They don't really, when it comes to wins and losses, they don't really look at that. They just kind of look at each team day by day. They look at themselves. They look at what they can do for their team. And when they do well, their confidence raises, obviously. But as a head coach, that's also my job, is to be that confidence booster. So hopefully that I'm doing right by them.
Kelly?
I'm looking at your roster, and I see you have 2 seniors. And 3 juniors, but you're fairly young because that's not, I mean, the teams you're playing, and he's talking about his schedule on that. I look at Gordonsville, and they're a state, they've been to the state championship, they've won it. They go out and they play bigger teams because they don't get the competition in their district. I know this district at one time was a very strong district as far as it was a pretty hard district to get out of. But when you get into other districts, you're going to face, it's pitching that you want to go see. It's defense schemes. It's slappers that you may not see. It's the small ball. It's different things that you want to expose your players to, that I think he's trying to do. And the thing you have to look at is his expectations with his girls. He's got a senior pitcher, so he's got a good leader and a foundation. And Bryna has played enough travel ball as well. They've both signed to play college ball. He's got 2 really good leaders there. I don't personally know the other juniors. I don't know how they step into a leader role, but he's got a good foundation for his leaders. And it's good to go out and play competitions. You got to play better teams to get better. What is some strengths that you're seeing with this group of girls? Like, what are they handling well? Are they handling the higher level pitching well? Are they struggling with slow pitching? What is their strengths? What is their weaknesses right now?
Well, it kind of comes and goes. So we played Cumberland County Tuesday night, and their pitcher was a little bit slower, didn't have a lot of movement, but they struggled initially. So we always talk about those mid-game adjustments, whether it be at the plate or whether it be in the field. So finally, when they started to realize, oh, this is what she's throwing, they knew what they had to do, stepped up in the box, stepped closer to the plate, and we had a 13-run inning. Fast pitching, like we played Oakland Wednesday night. They got a freshman, I want to say her name, and I think it's Kylie Higgs. She's probably about 6 foot tall, and she can bring it.
Well, she could.
She could bring it. And I'm standing over there on third base thinking that's not fair because she's 14 years old and she has a stronger arm than I do, which is not hard to do, obviously. but at the same time, the girls understood what they had to do. They were patient at the plate. We had only been seeing about 2.5 pitches per plate appearance. And they understood that with somebody that's going to throw that hard, either A, they're going to have all kinds of control, or B, they're not going to have any control. And she struggled. We got 6 walks off of her. So they can struggle with fast pitching, but it's all about that confidence too at the very beginning. If they feel like they can come up and they can make her work, then they're fine. But if they psych out and they understand, oh man, this girl throws fast, then they just kind of like, oh, I'm not going to be able to hit it. Now, one thing that Coach Horton and I have taught for the past 2 or 3 years is grit. And that last top of the 7th was where that showed up for us. That hadn't showed up in a long time. They fought, and they fought so much that Oakland decided to take out Higgs, and they replaced her with another pitcher. And then we hit her. And like Tom touched on earlier, I don't like to put the games in the hands of another human being. Because obviously judgment and discretion for some people is just not there. But the grit that they showed to get back to that point and not give up in their last at bat, that's a huge strength that I can see that it's continuously developing. The biggest weakness that I think for them is that they get down on themselves a lot. They get into their heads, especially if they haven't had a good day at the plate or a good day defensively. They are going to put so much pressure on themselves to where it's going to affect the other side of it. If they're struggling at the plate, it's going to affect them negatively in the field. Or if they're struggling defensively, it's going to negatively affect them at the plate. So just trying to find that happy medium of, hey, this is still a game. It doesn't define who you are. We just want you to go out there, give 110%, and enjoy doing what you're doing. If we can get them all to look at it that way, I think we'll be okay.
Who's your lead when you in district play? Who will be your leadoff? Who will be your top three? Like 1, 2, and 3 batting.
I really like having Bryna at the top of the order, but it's so hard to leave her there just because she's my best chance of getting runs batted in. So if I can put 1 or 2 girls that I know that are consistently getting on base in front of her, and then her come up behind and bring them in, that's the ultimate goal. But at least my top 4, I'd love to have Bryna, Zaylee Bain. She's my junior center fielder. She's basically all-around hitter at the plate. She can hit away, she can bunt, she can slap, soft slap, whatever you need her to do. If I tell her, get on base, she's going to get on base. Riley Wilbur's another one that I can trust to lay down a bunt, do the small intangible things just to get runners over. And then Cora, we talked yesterday. She said, I'm only going to pitch at Anderson, right? I was like, well, you're going to hit in DeKalb. I was like, because last year her and Riley tied for the team lead. I want to say it was at least 4 or 5 home runs apiece. So, being a pitcher gives you a little bit of an advantage because you're already used to tracking the ball and seeing the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have her in the cleanup hole. So that's my go-to for when district play rolls around.
Do you change that based on what you're seeing in the circle?
Absolutely. If I know that I'm going to face like a Reese Kimmel from Upperman, I'm more than likely going to put Riley and Zaylee in the 1 and 2 spots. And then I'm going to put Bryna in the 3rd spot because Reese has got some speed on her, but it's her changeup that's probably her calling card. So if I can get my first 2 people on, Bryna literally can just hit about anything that you throw up there. So if I can get those 2 on, have Bryna bring them in, and then Cora come up behind, and the rest of the lineup's solid. They'll be able to hit her too. And that's the one thing that I like to do with our lineup is to let the pitcher know we're going to be aggressive at the plate. We're going to swing. We're going to hit you. And maybe that drops their confidence so that the rest of my lineup can pick up the rest of the slack for the whole game.
Now, do you go old school and go Danny Bond, small ball when you can't score?
I'll tell you right now, when we score 13 runs, and I know, and I don't mean any disrespect against Cumberland County. They're Coach Isles up there. She's a good coach. She's making it enjoyable for the kids. But when we had those 13 runs in I think it was the top of the 5th, I'm pretty sure that I called about 5 straight bunts, and that's how we scored. I don't mind it a bit. Some people think that it's dumb, but it doesn't matter if you can score or can't score. It's all about getting in the position. You got to be able to get them in position for them to score first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's some people may look at it as, well, that's just playing. That's just dumb. It's a hitter's game. It's like, no, it's a game that you're supposed to win.
Yep.
And if you can't win hitting, we'll win however other way we can.
90% of the time, putting the ball in play causes chaos for the defense.
Yeah,
and
that's what
getting
we
kids
teach.
to buy into that.
Yeah, and that's what they got to understand. Like, if we're going to make the other team wants to make our defense work, so why wouldn't we want to turn the table and do the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you said, defense creates chaos. It creates errors. It makes them have to work for every single out, not just popping up to the pitcher, striking out, looking, or swinging. You have to make the defense work, and that's what we like to do. So.
You've alluded to the legacy that is Tigerette softball. How are you putting your personal Duke stamp on this team?
Well, I don't even know if I've realized what my personal Duke stamp is, other than, I went to high school here and then came back to teach. I'm just trying myself to ensure that the girls understand that, sometimes I don't do a good job of it, I'll be honest with you, but I want them to know that I'm not only their coach, but I'm their biggest fan while they're out there on the field. Like I said, I don't do that as well as I should, but I want them to know that I support them in what they're doing, and that they understand that this game doesn't have to define who they are. I'm there to help them grow as players, but I'm there to help them grow as young ladies.
Have you got a couple of kids on the bench that you'll use in certain special situations?
I've got. It's good. Sometimes it's a good problem to have when you don't know where you want to put people all the time, and that's what I told a lot of our incoming freshmen. I told them that you may have played this in middle school, but this is what I need over here. So we have 15 girls, and we have a capability to where I can shift and move pieces all the time and still feel comfortable, especially defensively. I know Olivia Gilly, she's going through a little bit of a shoulder issue right now, but I brought her in to hit. She DP'd for one of my girls who was struggling at the plate in the Gordonsville tournament, and in that very last game against Warren County, she had the walk-off hit. And she's a junior now. This is probably one of the first times she's saw the field. So I have some people, sitting on the bench that if I need a hit, I can put them in and feel confident that they'll get it.
What are who's your battery? I know Cora, and you have
Liliana Judkins is going to be behind her.
Okay.
Liliana's a freshman. She's actually pitched against Cumberland, and then she pitched against Warren. She's a pitch to contact hitter. Like Cora, y'all seen it for the past
she's pitched
4
to
years. She's going to strike everybody out. But like I've told the defense, and like they understand, but they have to be able to play regardless. But Liliana's going to the same pitching instructor as Cora now, so she's starting to understand that high school ball is a completely different level, and she's got a lot of skill. But it's one of those things that if she could develop some confidence while she's up there, she'll be just fine. She pitched in the JV game against Oakland, and she pitched well. She pitched very well. She pitched well in the Gordonsville tournament. So, what I would like to use with Liliana is to allow Cora to come in, and if they start to hit Cora, have that big change of pace by bringing Liliana in right behind. And if Liliana does what she's supposed to do, she's got some pitches that there's not a lot of people's going to hit them.
Do you have now? Is those the only two you have?
Those are the only two that I primarily use. Riley Wilbur is a sophomore. She is she's been throwing some when she moved here her freshman year. I can't remember where she come from, but she got here her freshman year, and she had a little bit of experience pitching, but she has worked on that herself in the past 2 off seasons to the point now where she's got a pretty decent fastball, and she's got some work to do on her changeup. But other than that, if at all costs I needed to, I could turn to her and say, hey, I need you on the mound.
Who are your catchers?
Brooke Fuson's a sophomore. She's going to be my primary catcher. Cadence Johnson is a freshman. I put her on after I had a couple of players leave the team. I put her on. She was a manager, but I had put her on because I felt like she could be a viable asset, at least for JV. But like I said earlier, being able to have those moving pieces, Bryna has caught Cora when they played for Jack City in travel ball. So I could throw Bryna back there and not miss a beat. So those are 3 people that I could rely on if I need to. Brooke's going to be my primary.
For all of us boy parents, what's the pitching rules for girls softball in high school?
So what do you mean by pitching rules?
How many pitches can they throw a week, or innings, or is there
as many as they want
throw
to.
their arm falls off.
Hey, that's the natural motion. So you throw as much as you want to.
Yep.
Okay.
What was it? UT's pitcher threw 70 pitches in a 10-inning game last night.
Yeah.
So
she came in relief.
Yeah.
Cora and Bryna there. Man, how special is that to have them as your leaders? And how much have those two meant to the program so far?
When you think about an embodiment of what Tigerette softball means and what it's supposed to mean, they are 2 prime examples of it. For me, I look at them as players, but I also look at them as they're almost like 2 other assistant coaches, because both of them, even though they're young, they know the game so well. Neither of them are very vocal. Now, the senior year, they've gotten a little bit better, but they are exemplary leaders. If something needs to be done, they just do it. They don't have to ask. They don't have to say anything. They just go and do it. And for a first-year head coach that, kind of just got asked, hey, do you want to be an assistant coach 3 years ago? Having somebody like that to where I can turn and be like, is this something that we're going to do? Is this viable? They're like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. That's been a godsend for me. So they have really made the transition from assistant to head coach a fairly easy, knowing that I can rely on them to, kind of be my guidance.
Ethan, you mentioned something earlier. You was talking about Cora mentioned that she'll only be pitching when she goes to Anderson. With those two girls going to play on the next level, are there things that the colleges ask you or ask of them for this senior season? Anything specific that they don't want them to do or not to do or anything like that?
Well, no offense to their collegiate coaches, but I don't know if I would even listen to what they had to say if they said that they didn't need to do this.
But they haven't asked you of anything.
They have not. I'm pretty sure that a representative from Anderson was there at Oakland.
He was.
Wednesday night.
I saw him there, yeah.
I never talked to him.
Yeah.
Which, I don't need to speak to him because, that's Cora's thing.
Sure.
But no, I haven't had any sort of outreach with any of their collegiate coaches. I've met them at their signings, just told them who I was, and we talked a little bit. But other than that, and I appreciate that from those coaches, because that tells me that they want them to enjoy their final year, and they want them to do whatever it takes to stay competitive and be winners, because that's the whole reason why they want them to come to their programs, is that they're showing what they can do here. They don't want them to stop now.
Right.
They've worked this hard their entire careers to get to this point, and I'm proud of them. And I'm going to as long as they're okay and they want to keep doing what they're doing, I'm going to let them roll with it.
District, you're about to get into the meat of the district schedule. Of course, like I said, you've got some out-of-district games, some great competition there, but it's going to be pretty district-heavy, I know, coming up. What does this district look like? And as always, we expect DeKalb County is going to be challenging for the district championship, as always. But who are some teams that you're looking that are going to be tough matchups for you this year?
I know everything that I hear, I don't really do a lot of research when it comes to that. But I hear it from parents, and I hear it through the grapevine that, Stone and Livingston have brought up a couple of freshman pitchers. And in this district, as Ms. Kelly said earlier, pitching is a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you and you can look at Gordonsville as an example, they have a good all-around team, but Kaylee Plumley is top-notch.
Yeah.
And so for this district, pitching is a huge thing. You got Reese Kimmel at Upperman. We've got Cadence Cox. She swapped in between catching and pitching last year for Stone Memorial. The Stones brought in a freshman, and I don't know her name, but she's supposed to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Livingston, brought in a freshman pitcher the same way. We got a taste of Cumberland the other night. They obviously we didn't score, we didn't hit for 2 innings,
right?
So they are getting more competitive, and maybe in the next couple of years they'll be at a place where they can actually vie for district contention. Besides that, though, I feel like we should be at the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
If we do what we're supposed to do as a team, I don't foresee us having a huge amount of trouble with the district. No disrespect to the other teams because they are competitive and they will fight. But if we do what we're supposed to do on both sides of the plate, we'll be fine.
Is Cora the best pitcher in the district?
In my opinion, absolutely.
I would probably agree with that. She's probably the most experienced.
She's the most experienced, and she's the most confident one. Now, there's some other ones that are extremely confident, but then last year they got to hit us, or they got to pitch against us, and then I think that confidence dropped a little bit. And I don't say that to be boastful or anything like that, but, the great thing, like you were talking about, it's a blessing to have a Cora and Bryna is because, like I said, they may not talk about it, but they're all about it. They go and they just do it,
mm-hmm.
and they don't have to have any hoorah or anything like that. They just go and they do it, and that's what I want our whole team to be about. I don't care if anybody talks about us. I don't care if we get all the press clippings or anything like that. I always appreciate DC Blitz bringing us up when I watch it on Saturday mornings, but I just want our girls to go out and do what they do best, and that's play ball and win.
All right. Well, we're excited because Thursday we're going to be there for the at the Danny Bond Field for the game against Stone Memorial, and everyone I mentioned that to the other day said that's going to be a good game. So when you brought Stone up, it was good to hear that. That's probably going to be a good litmus test for you in district. We're excited about being there for that game, and we're always excited. Fast pitch softball is something I've loved to cover over the years, and the teams have been great. You're going to carry that torch on, and we appreciate you coming out this morning, and just enjoyed watching your team the other night. Excited about the season. Ethan, thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
All right, Coach Ethan Duke, first-year Tigerette softball head coach, has been our guest here on DC Blitz. We'll come back and take a look at the week ahead. This is DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent is DeKalb County Insurance. Get a quote today at DeKalbInsurance.net.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. Go to ErieInsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
At First Bank, when our customers bank local, they get more empowered, more informed. Local banking gets them closer to their goals and dreams because they work directly with bankers who know them. With less layers and more personal connection. We're a local bank brand that goes the distance to get customers where they want to be. Which is why we got into banking in the first place. Stop by First Bank at 200 West Main Street in downtown Smithville, or give us a call at 615-597-4366.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org.
Want a mower that's tough enough to break all the rules? Want everything without sacrificing anything? Want performance for the long haul at an unbeatable value? The perfect balance of power and performance? You want a bad boy mower. Packed with power, muscle, simplicity, and comfort the pro in you demands. It's your time. You deserve a bad boy. Find your big boy mower at Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville. Visit them online at thesouthernlandscapesupply.com.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
In a world of bank mergers and acquisitions driven by the bottom line, Wilson Bank and Trust remains focused on serving the community. We're local. We're independent. The people who make decisions and help you at the window are your neighbors and friends. As your local, independent bank, Wilson Bank and Trust takes a personal approach to business by providing customized banking needs while staying committed to serving our communities across Middle Tennessee. Let our team of local banking professionals show you the hometown difference. Wilson Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Are you ready to elevate your commercial space? Look no further than Taylor's Construction. With years of expertise in the industry, Taylor's Construction specializes in all aspects of commercial construction. Whether you're planning a new office or any large-scale project, we've got you covered. Our team excels in drywall installation and metal stud framing, and we ensure precision and quality that meets your highest standards. Ready to start your next project? Don't wait. Call us today and experience the Taylor's Construction difference. Call 615-684-5068.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb Sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
DC Blitz presented by DeKalb County Insurance. Want to thank Coach Ethan Duke for coming out braving the elements, all this wacky weather this morning. I got to tell my story. I didn't want to tell it while Ethan was here. So, for the ones that don't know about it, because I think everybody, I've been asked a half dozen times in the last couple of days if I'm okay. Darvin Gill, a good friend of all of ours, came into town. Of course, he's coaching down in Florida and was in for spring break this week. And he and I went over to watch the Tigerettes play Wednesday against Oakland. And, of course, we're just sitting up at the stands enjoying it. Well, it started getting a little cool, and, I had shorts on. And so we were going to run back to the car and get jackets. And we're sitting on the top bleacher, so I decided I'm going to turn around and just step down off the back of the bleachers, which was a great idea in principle, until I got my foot caught on the step and nosedive right off the bleachers onto the pavement. Well, before I could even figure out what had gone on, I bet I had a dozen people standing around me. They thought I'd fallen backwards off of the bleachers, and so a big thanks to everybody that got me up, checked me out, and if I had any pride, that would have been the biggest thing. It'd have been hurt. But I tell you, no joke. I skipped my knee up a little bit and all that. When you get a little older, falls are kind of hard to take. But I've got this little bitty cut on my hand, and this has hurt worse than.
You seem like one of them kids at school. I got a cut, and I'm like, where are you bleeding?
I will tell you what, though. Kayla Johnson, of course, her daughter plays, and she's the assistant volleyball coach. Now, Kayla has, believe this when I tell you, she has a hospital in a bag, okay? She come over and doctored me up, and I felt mothered. It was really cool. But she took good care of me. The SRO was there, everybody. But, don't go nosediving off the bleachers when you go watch games, y'all.
We don't have a swim team.
That was on my bucket list.
I'm naturally clumsy as it is. I will not be sitting at the top row of the bleachers anymore. Anywhere.
That's why you take your own chair.
So, lesson learned. Can you believe this is the 40th year of Tigerette softball?
No.
This is year 40. It started in 1986, and no pressure put on Ethan, but they've never had a losing record, ever. In 39 years of softball. I think that says a lot for that program, the players that have come through it, of course, the coaches, and there's no risk of that this year. That he's got a great team. Watching him the other day, Cora, she just throws with so much confidence. She's a great mechanical pitcher. She's got velocity. She can move the ball. Anderson's getting a great, not just a great pitcher, but a great young lady that loves the game of softball. And, she can really bring it. I think this team is going to do some things this year. And Kelly, you played for the Tigerettes. Obviously, it's just been a special program. I think
it has. Because of all the things, like the one thing I can say about I was the only freshman that got to play in the state tournament my freshman year. Out of my graduating class, I was the only one that got to play in the state tournament because we went and Coach Bond had taught me how to drag bunt from the left side, and he let me bat one game, and I got to run bases. I always got to run bases for Brandy Fish. Yeah. So I was always super excited if Brandy got on. I was like her biggest cheerleader. I always wanted her to bat 1,000. You couldn't have asked for anybody, but I also credit that to my dad, and he explained to me that because there was 18 girls on the team, there was 9 freshmen of us, and we didn't play JV. There was no JV. We played a doubleheader against Baxter, and we had Amy Barnes was our pitcher, and Crystal Norton pitched that game. So Amanda Washer got to play center field, and that was it. That was the only sub. and none of the rest of us got to play. We got to practice. And then the sub-state game rolls around, and the seniors didn't go to the sub-state game because it was graduation. And so Amanda and I got to play in the outfield, and I was standing out in left field going, please, God, don't let the ball come anywhere near me. Because we were playing down in Chattanooga. I mean, like I remember it like yesterday at girls' preparatory school. There was no outfield fence. There was no fence in the outfield. There were fences on the sides, but there's no fence in the outfield. So if it went, it was going. And I was like, please don't let. Of course, Amy was a lot like Cora, left-handed pitcher. She had good movement on the ball, so they didn't hit her, and we got to go to the state. And of course, that was the bad thing. Like when you got to state, there was no the private schools were in there with you.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think our first game was against Page, and out of like Williamson County. So I mean, like we, they had slappers and we hadn't seen that, and we didn't, there was parts of the game that we had tried to prepare for, but we weren't. And I think that's a great thing that Ethan's doing, is taking them and playing, because you have Upper Cumberland softball, which is not, has grown a lot and has gotten really good, but it's not the same everywhere. I mean, like I know Jonathan Bush over at Gordonsville, he takes his girls and he plays different places. They go down to Alabama and play, but these schools, I mean, there's reasons colleges go and play different schools. It's kind of like an RPI. You want to go see those good schools because you've got to be able to face that pitch. And then when you get to the state tournament, you've got to be able to prepare to see anything. And I think it's a really good thing that he's going and playing these other schools. It's like I told him, just explain to your girls your expectations. Hey, we're playing a 5A school. I don't expect you to A, B, and C. I expect you to do the fundamental things that we got to do what we do right, and we got to adjust to what they, and make adjustments. But it's great to be a part of this program.
How much has the game changed? And during the time I covered sports over the years, going back, when I started in the early 90s calling the games, there was still almost an element of slow pitch to it, because I guess fast pitch, especially in this area, and I'm not talking DeKalb County in particular, was still relatively new, but we could just hit the crap out of the softball. Our teams always were able to, but then pitching got better. That was the one thing that I noticed then. Like you talk about when you went to state, when you got to that level, they could throw. The other teams, a lot of those teams have been around a lot longer. But what are some of the biggest changes, Kelly, you've witnessed over the years in fast pitch softball on the high school level?
So when I played, if you had an Amy Barnes, which we had, she was going to dominate. She threw it hard enough. Nobody was going to hit her. And we all, thanks to slow pitch, we all were defensively sound. Now, it was hard for us to score. We weren't used to hitting. That's why I feel like Coach Bond did a whole lot of the small ball. It's if you're bunting, you're not moving your bat. You're catching the ball with your bat.
Yeah.
So, he had some girls that could run. You put in, you make the defense do there's some strategy to that. And so that was a big part of the game through the 90s. And then you get into mid-2000s and bats get really hot. And I mean, they get hot. Like, all you got to do is get your bat out there, because at this point, the girls can pitch. So at this point, all you got to do is get your bat out there, and it's going to go off these bats. Well, you've got face masks that the girls are wearing in the field now and stuff, because these bats are so hot. That's how much the game. So it used to be, and you can look in the College World Series now. You can always kind of gauge things by the College World Series. The scores are no longer 1-0. Like, I do know UT went and played Duke this past Tuesday. And I only know this because my daughter, Mark, took the Little Ranger softball team up and took them to the game, and they had a ball. But it was a 1-0 game. Girl hit a home run in the first inning, and nobody hit Carla Pickens, which she's throwing 70-something miles an hour. I mean, she threw the fastest pitch in college history a couple of weeks ago at 77. They're not hitting that.
That's moving.
and she's throwing it for a strike.
Yeah.
So that part, you're going to have those unicorns. She's a unicorn. But most schools don't have that. Most of your scores are 5 and 8 runs is what's going to win it.
Yeah.
And so it's become advantage batter. You've got to have hitting. I mean, it's you've got to have hitting, and you've got to have somebody. Got to have a Kendra Falby in the outfield like Florida has that can catch anything. I mean, outfielders are the most important thing you have on your team, more than you got pitchers, catchers, outfielders.
Yep.
Because you got to have somebody to run those down, and so that's how much the game has changed. It used to be, you needed a good shortstop, and you still do.
Yeah.
You still need those position players, but it's look at Bryna Pelham. She's probably, I imagine she's playing outfield, and she's playing it because she can go run down anything.
Want to shift gears, and I want to throw a name out there for you to remember. Giovanni Desarena. I hope I'm saying that right. Giovanni is a 7th grader for the DeKalb Middle School soccer team. And in their 2 wins this week, 5-0 over Smith County and 3-0 over Cumberland County, Giovanni scored all 8 of the DeKalb Middle School goals. And I believe, Coach, last week, Justin, of course, has been great to keep us in the know. I think they played Mount Juliet or something in their preseason play day and won 4-0, and I think he scored all 4 of those. So we may very well have a soccer prodigy here on this DeKalb Middle School team, and I'm excited to see what they accomplish this year because he's got a lot of good kids. He's got a good 8th grade class, but now the 7th grade class, and again, as I mentioned, between the high school and the middle school, they've not allowed a goal this year. But this sport has really grown, and I think we are set up to have some really good soccer teams here in the next several years on both the middle school and high school level.
It is, Tom. In the fall, it's an alternative sport. For those girls that aren't playing golf, that aren't playing basketball, they can get into the soccer. They can go with that. And then spring, same thing. If you're not a baseball player, get on the soccer field and go with that. It's important that you remember that they have not given up any goals because you're going to get to teams that have really good defenses and they have really good goalies, and your goal count is going to go down.
Yeah.
And so if you have your own good goalie and your own good setup of defense, then that's going to counter some other teams. When your scores go down, you're still going to be able to keep them scoreless. And that's just as important as Giovanni, putting up all these goals.
We brought back this week the Good Health Family Clinic Student Athlete of the Week Award. I sent an email out to all the coaches and got no responses. We had no nominations. So in light of his performance, I am going to just make an executive decision, and this week's Good Health Family Clinic Student Athlete of the Week is Giovanni Desarena of the DeKalb Middle School soccer team. I think when you are putting up numbers like that, and again, it's a good team. We're not going to limit it to just one player, but what a fantastic start to his season. But I do want to ask the coaches, we'd like to get nominations. We don't like to make selections ourselves because the coaches around these kids every day of the week, and we want to recognize those that really stand out. But again, we had no nominations. That's why there was no voting this week. We'll try it again next week and see if we get some nominations. But we are going to recognize Giovanni for his efforts this past week. No less than 20 games are on the schedule this upcoming week, and believe it or not, there is at least one game scheduled Monday through Sunday, and yes, Sunday of this upcoming week, because the Tiger soccer team is going up to the Smoky Mountain Cup. So there is a game, at least one game every day this week. The weather has been nice. I can't stress this enough. Please go out and support our student athletes. Even these road games, believe me, they appreciate you a whole lot when you go on the road and support them. But we get a lot of fans at home. But Casey, when the fans go on the road, I think that means a whole lot more to these teams to look up at the stands and see not just parents but fans that come out and support what they are doing out there.
I agree.
Thank you, Casey. That's the shortest answer he's ever given us. But do get out. We will have the schedule posted tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow morning of all the games coming up this week. And we do overlook things from time to time or miss something or, have the wrong location or the wrong time. It happens. And sometimes the schedules get changed and we don't know about it. Alert us if you do know something and we'll make the corrections. But we want to try to keep that information out there. Been trying to do a pretty good job of keeping updated stories about how our teams are doing. By the way, Game Changer is a game changer. Let me just put it that way, because that app, we've been able to keep track of box scores and stuff like that. And so we hope to get all information out there as much as we can. and shed some spotlight on our local student athletes. Let's just look as we talk about the upcoming schedule this week. Casey, but if something that stands out to you, what are you excited about in DeKalb County Sports this upcoming week?
I am excited about getting a bunch of games played this week in all the sports. Spring break obviously being the following week makes it tough on a lot of folks, and I know in some sports we're able to trim back some games. Not all of them. Baseball didn't get that message, apparently, in either level. But I'm excited for the high school, both the high school baseball and softball, to be able to really get into district action and see how they're going to take on that tough challenge this year. I look for both teams to much improve, over what we've seen them start off on every level.
Mm-hmm.
So just more at bats and more getting into the rhythm and figuring everybody out. I'm really looking forward to seeing how good all these teams can be for the season.
Coach, what about you? What maybe stands out on the schedule this upcoming week?
Gosh, this upcoming week is our spring break.
Coach is not thinking about sports. He's thinking about spring break.
Cheryl's thinking about my spring break, too. She's already got a list of things, but... I'm going to be able to have a few days there where I really don't have anything on my plate, and I'd like to get out, and, the softball game on Monday sounds really good to me. But be out of town later on the week. But, we've talked about it with Dallas Kirby and some of these other guys that are transitioning from basketball, and it's like, give me another week.
Yeah.
And then I'll be ready to go. And I think you're going to see this same type of gelling across the board. You can talk about the, middle school baseball team. They're in the same situation with that group of talented athletes that they have. And things are going to pick up. It may have been a slow start to some of our teams other than softball, kind of starting off. But, like we said many times before, later in the season is when it's going to count, and these teams are going to be ready.
All right. Kelly, does anything stand out? You're always at a game, so.
I know. I said Monday night was the only, since last Saturday, we've had something, which today got rained out. We were supposed to have a tournament today. We have something every day, and Monday we don't have anything. And so I was like, Monday I don't have anything. And then I'm like, the high school's playing at Watertown, and Watertown's only like 6 miles from my house. And I'd really like to see the game before Thursday. But I think that's a great game for them because that's a district opponent for next year.
Mm-hmm.
They roll into that. And I really want to get to a high school baseball game. It's just they play the same nights as the junior high baseball team plays.
Right.
So we're going to have to find some of that. But I'm just excited. I'm excited that it's not freezing cold because I already know what it's going to be. I'm going to go ahead and call it. Maybe it won't happen because I'm calling it. It'll be freezing cold our spring break. It will be cold and miserable. And we'll have 3 games in cold and miserable weather.
In your tent.
I will be in my tent. Don't worry.
Yeah, get your tent. Well, I'm excited about the whole week. Some things that stick out. I'm excited to see the Lady Saints softball coming up Monday. I've not had a chance to go out and watch them yet, and planning on doing that Monday. And seeing West School on Tuesday as they'll have Cumberland County in town. Planning on taking in those 2 games. I always love anytime we get a chance to broadcast, and as we mentioned earlier, we'll be at Danny Bond Field Thursday. Kelly and I will for the Tigerettes against Stone Memorial. I'm excited to see how the Tiger soccer team does at the Smoky Mountain Cup because it's always a very challenging event. I think the soccer team is very good this year. They're going to get a really good test. I believe they're playing. Looking at schedule, they're playing Franklin Road Academy on Friday, Anderson County on Saturday, Munford on Sunday. So 3 days in a row they're going to have a match. That's grueling enough as it is, but I think we're really going to find out a lot about them. I think Coach K loves this event, taking his team to it. He does find out a lot about his team. But as we've often talked about with all the sports, it starts getting you prepared for postseason. And I think he's got a team that has a chance to go deep this year.
They'll stay in a 2 or 3 level log cabin kind of a thing, and they'll have the players on one level and have a buffer of parents on the next. And he separates himself, and they've got a game room up there. But that turns out that Anderson County is one of those teams that are probably very, very good. Mm-hmm. I don't know much about the Franklin Road Academy. But typically when he goes up, he doesn't really know what his schedule is going to be. and sometimes those teams are really, really good, and it kind of looks like what they have to face this year.
You know, you just mentioned something. That sounds like a good idea. Cabin, some sports. Might not be such a bad idea, but if you want to make a weekend of it, that's not a bad gig at all, to go up to the Smokies and support our soccer team and watch what's going to be 3 great matches.
Now, you've already said that since we're not broadcasting
Yeah,
a little
that's what I'm
weekend thing, I'm thinking mountains or whatever. And
yeah. That may
Look,
not
you could
sound
go
too bad at all.
Look, on Saturday you could go to Chattanooga and watch the softball team, and then on Saturday afternoon you could go watch the Smoky Mountain Cup.
I don't go to Chattanooga because I get lost. The first year I went to cover the state tournament, I was a dumb kid down there driving around in circles.
I'm pretty sure he'll kill me if he ever sees this. I'm pretty sure Coach Bond got lost a couple times.
I think it was 94, the first year I went down there to cover for WJLE. And seriously, I'd been to Chattanooga.
It's roundabouts.
It's just one way. The whole city is one way. I happened to run in, I don't know how, but I happened to run into Matt Cole, who was the sports editor at the Review at the time. And I'm so thankful I did, or I would probably still be driving around Chattanooga trying to figure out where I'm going all these years later. But, yeah, I don't go to Chattanooga unless somebody else is driving and knows how to get around there. But lots of great games this week. Get out and support our local student athletes. Rain's not going to last. Weather's looking pretty good, a little cool to start the week, I think, but it's going to get warm again. So get out and support our local athletes. Hey, big thanks to our guests today, Luke Midgett, Ian Barnes, and Jackson Mathis from the DCHS tennis team, to Coach Ethan Duke of the Tigerette softball program. We appreciate them braving the weather today and coming out and being with us. Always a huge thanks to our producer, Daniel Leslie. Daniel had a late game last night, still came out here to get everything together to put the show on for us. Daniel, I tell you, Coach, he had our game ready to go the other night, and then went out and coached the baseball game, then tore everything down. So he's wearing a lot of hats. We appreciate him taking the time, and he does it for biscuits.
We need Daniel on this side of the camera on a Saturday.
Yeah, most definitely. But we appreciate all he does to make everything we do go. For Casey, for the coach, for Kelly, I got to get a C in there somewhere. I'll just be the captain. How about
clumsy?
Clumsy. Thank you. There you go, for clumsy. Thank you for tuning in for this week's edition of DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.